Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over in the free-to-play account. Got a couple things to covering, including the awakened version of Skriath. Now overall, in the very early game, didn't see really a lot of use for him. As it sits right now, he is being used in the Cursed Realm. We are also seeing him in the Treasure Scramble. So utility-wise, we are seeing him in 2 of the 3 major game modes within AFK Arena. We are not seeing him at all in the Nightmare Corridor, and I honestly think there's not going to be any point where we are getting him. Now, today I wanted to pick him up because we do have the Mauler Tower open, and then we have Monday, which is going to be Lightbearer, and then we'll have Tuesday. Mauler Tower will be open again, so I feel like I'm going to be able to dominate and make a ton of progression with him on the free-to-play account, and we have been farming towers religiously. We have really been focusing on all the towers. Now, also remember that Monday is going to be the patch notes. Tuesday is going to be the actual patch. So that is going to be the update to AFK Arena in its entirety. That is going to bring 2 big things. Number 1 is, as you can see right over that way, our new Wilder hero. Now, it's saying, in looking at Dolly's dialogue, a lot of players are speculating, we are going to see a new Celestial hero that is going to be coming. Don't know the iteration or don't know the rotation when it comes to Draconic heroes, but overall, it seems like the next hero, it is the Light in the Darkness, is going to be a Celestial hero. Then I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Draconic hero. And then, of course, it would have to be an Awakened hero. It would be an Awakened Wilder at this point if they stay with that exact same rotation. Now, on the free-to-play account, want to do a couple summons. This is on the weekly reset. So we did literally just get the reset. You can see a lot of things in here. Tier 3 stones, Tier 4 stones. We're starting to make a lot of progression. Also do have 167 insignias. We are saving those, and we kind of talked about it when we were on the live stream last week about saving those. Now, we could go in, we could do some summons for Leviathan. That would give us the ability to actually make a little bit more progression within the Dragon Forge and allow us to progress to get more insignias, but I don't know if the risk or the return is really worth it in there. So we do pick up a copy of Rain. Then we have 5 of these Elite Hero Stones. We've been getting these just out of all of the different game modes in the entirety, and it looks like we got a copy of Raoul. Unfortunately, he was a hero, again, super short-lived, never really found a place within AFK Arena. Rest of this pretty much food, except Adrian Elise, but overall, I don't think I'm going to build them out as it sits right now. Now, another thing is when it comes to the free-to-play account, we've been farming out a lot when it comes to our Peaks of Time. This is a place we've been spending and really putting a lot of time in. Also, the Arcane Labyrinth, we finally got to the Dismal Maze. So if you want to join in here, if you want to join my team in here, we can run through here. The Dismal Maze is finally unlocked. Now, to unlock this, you do have to do this 30 times going through. Once you do clear the normal 30 times, then the Dismal does unlock. It does give you a warning in there, so it does unlock. Now, also, I get this question every single day, guys. As you can see, we have Shahan and we have Sun Jin Woo. We have both of these heroes. As it sits of today, you cannot get these heroes. I have to stress, guys, you cannot get either of these crossover heroes. You cannot get Shahan. You cannot get Sun Jin Woo. You cannot get them until they come into the garrison, which is right here. Now, with the garrison, we will probably see them in about 5 months before you actually see them come into the garrison. So you do have an extended amount of time before you do see those heroes. And even looking at the garrison today, really 2 heroes that are still seeing utility. Number 1, which is Rem, which we do have right here. And then the other one is right here with Shuna, still seeing a lot of utility in a lot of different game modes out of the garrison. If you're looking to get any of those, Rem still works incredibly well early game. And then, of course, Shuna works for a ton, including some of the best in slot formations that we see right now, which is kind of crazy. Rimuru not seeing as much utility than we're seeing with Shuna, but overall still seeing a lot of utility out of both of those heroes. So let's hop over, guys. I want to do some summons. We came in here, we did the bounty board. We did pretty much everything that we're looking for. Again, towers, we have been farming out regularly, starting to get a lot more resources, already up to 289. So we are continuing building out. Now, we do need a lot more heroes within the wish list. Again, we know them that Wilder hero is coming. Want to finish out a few of the heroes and just kind of glancing over at the wish list that we had, because we had one in here, which I believe we already replaced Jerome within the wish list itself, because we know he was maxed out to that 1 star. That's essentially where we want to build him. So we took Jerome, we dropped Jerome out. We got Rowan in here Rowan, we're actually going to take up to that ascended level. Also do have Telemar in here. That way we have the support and we still have some DPS. Now we also did have Crescio in here, which at this point we did drop out Crescio, starting to build them up a little bit further. Even looking at Misha, even looking at Trishia, we are taking both of those up to 5 stars, and a couple of the other of these heroes we've already gotten to a few stars. And then Greyborn itself, again, looking to build up a couple more heroes. So hopefully with the summons, now we are still at the point we have never seen or never gotten an awakened hero out of regular summons. We are still 0 for forever. So I don't know. And I know a lot of players have said that it has taken just a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of time since they have gotten one. And unfortunately, there we go. We get a copy of Mira. That's going to be all we're getting out of there. Now cards. I'm going to go ahead, continue with our Wilders, continue building these up. As we make a little bit more progression, there is a copy of a star. In here again, we do have the Wilders. We could save these, but honestly, chances of us getting anything worthwhile out of here is so incredibly low, especially because when we look at these, there are so many different heroes that we have in the AFK Arena. It's kind of crazy, and as you can see, not even anything in there to write home about. Then we do have 8 or essentially 4 days of summons in here with our companion points. Another point that we can, by chance, pull some of these heroes. There's a copy of Ron. So very cool. We do get an elite out of there. But again, this is a point where we can pull the awakened heroes within an AFK Arena, but we still have never seen them. Only one I got was that awakened version of Solus, which was out of stones. So unfortunately, nothing there. Now within the Stargazer, you can see we already have another 28 cards. Again, this is tower progression at its best. I'm going through here. We need 1 copy of Liberta. So maybe today will be the day if we can pull this final copy. And there it is, guys. So that will take Liberta up to 1 star, and that will finish him out in the entirety. So honestly, I was kind of going back and forth on what hero we should build next. And I believe I'm going to go in here and I'm going to build Aurelia. That is going to be the second one that I'm going to focus on again, thinking game-wise, priority-wise. She does work incredibly, incredibly well. We could build Demia. We could go with Aurelia. Sarah Mira, we could do a couple other ones. But I'm going to go in here because we did get copies, or we did get lucky last time with a copy of Aurelia. So if we could pull by chance 1 more copy of the hero itself would be awesome to see. And again, we're taking this hero all the way up to 1 star, just like we do with all of the Celestials and the Hippos that we are building. Temple of Time, we have another 27. Now, when it comes to the awakened version of Envy, we still need a lot more copies of him in the entirety. So it's just going to be a matter of time. And look at that, guys. We got a double right there. That makes it a lot easier to get copies of the heroes. I can't even tell you how long it's been since we got a double pull. Also did get some essence. Also got a card in there as well. So let's see what that gives us. That, because I think we needed 1 more to build it up. And it's going to be some good progression on the free-to-play account today, because that takes to 1 star. There's the engraving. That's what we were looking for. And then, of course, looking at the 3 we have here, we are 2 copies away from building him up and having him at Ascended. Now, we already do have, finally, a plus 30 signature item on there. So there we go, building him up a little bit further. 2 more copies will take him to Ascended. And then 3 copies that are going to come out of the Stargazer will actually take him up to that 1 star. We don't want to use any of our stones out of there to actually build them up a little bit further. So maybe we could get another copy or 2. I know it's asking a lot at this point. Double cards right there, a lot more resources. But remember, guys, every single copy that we get in here is 1 copy closer to building this hero out in its entirety. So again, even sitting in here doing the solos, it's giving us more essence. It's giving us more resources to make some more progression and being able to continue to just push within the towers itself. So there we go. So very lucky on the combination, and finally getting Liberta built out of there is awesome to see. Recommendation, we already have our 10,000 Pokecoins in there. So let's go ahead and see if we can finish one out. Maybe Liberta will be lucky in here. 1, 2, just gives us really nothing. Number 3 brings us a piece for Shahan, which I'm fine with. 1 more on the table. Let's see what we have recommended. So that does take Shahan up a little bit further. Again, we have the 1 piece there. And I thought maybe we had See, we have Gorn, we have Envy, and then we do have one room to build there, and I think this one is good. Yeah, let's continue building these out. And again, we're not burning diamonds in here. We finally got Liberta's room finished out. We did get all of the dimensionals right there built out as well. So make sure we don't have anything else to build in here. And then let's see wishlist wise. Again, I think I'm just going to build Liberta. I'm going to build Liberta. We're going to get him up to that 9 of 9. I'm really making a big difference in a couple different game modes. This will take him to the 7 right there. And the quicker that we get him to a 9 of 9, the quicker they are done with the build in its entirety. So even there, we'll recycle the ones we're not using. It brings us one copy closer, and that does take him to the 7 of 9. And you can see Shahan and a couple other ones in there. Just kind of building it up. Again, baby steps, guys, when it comes to free-to-play accounts, when it comes in here. Now, weeklies, save the weeklies. We know that Tuesday is coming, and Tuesday is going to be the update. So we want to make sure, again, that we are saving that. Now, within the events themselves, we've been farming up the treasure scramble, but the pursuit of treasure, we've been making sure we've been getting our scrolls, as you can see in here. The guild has been doing amazing. I'm getting all of those scrolls. I have one of these cards. We'll go ahead and drop it in there. And we're almost at the point which within the next 46 hours, we'll pick up those additional Stargazer scrolls again, continue with Aurelia in its entirety, and just, again, farm, farm, farm. Unfortunately, in here, we only get our 1 insignia, which is going to be the same as we're getting everything else with our Awakened Beast. Dragonforge Trials, I think this is going to give me enough to get 10 more of the insignia. So right there, we got another 10. Now, again, we can't clear to stage 5. We're not even remotely close or even in the same game as getting through the actual stage itself. Even looking in here, though, as we continue to get more levels, we're already at 289. We can go through this one pretty quick, but again, we have very basic heroes when it comes to our Draconic heroes. Even getting some more copies of Gorgie, getting Gorgie up to that legendary plus his food, but also picking up a couple more elite copies. Again, we're at the point where we're not going to be going in here and we're not going to be burning through all of our diamonds to actually get heroes at this point. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what that looks like. Now we have 5 more scrolls in here. Let's go ahead and burn through those last 5 scrolls. Maybe it's going to be something, maybe just a little bit more food. Then we'll review and see if by chance we have anyone else that we can summon. Again, guys, it is really just about the step-by-step progression that we're seeing in the account every day. That does add up. Also we'll look at the beast in just a minute. And I know I still owe you guys a video for the beast resonance. I know I still have to make that video. Looking here again, we got Palmer right there. We got 2 pieces of food. Gonna have to figure out exactly who we're building out next. Now within our maulers, this is the same. We're waiting for a little bit more food, 1, 2, 3, 4, which we have enough. So finally we have enough in there right there with Anakira, and there is our legendary plus that gives us the food for Villanelle. Look at that, guys. There is the mythic plus. There is the ascended. Oh, finally up to that ascended level. Very cool. Like I said, with this one, I believe it's 1 star that we're taking her up to. So we do have a little bit more build in there. Now in here, we did finish out our 4th, which was right here with Nevi. Building it a little bit. We're going to have to get a little bit more food in here. Rayborn, I think it was the same. We're building out Bron. Again, in here, we don't have any food at all, but we already do have 3 ascended heroes. Bron will be the 4th that we're building out again, little by little. Now, we know Liberta does have the 1 star in there. We have that copy of Aurelia. Also still getting Ulna out of the shop itself. Envy, we need 2 more, and then everybody else that we're building in here. Again, progression-wise, I am very, very happy with everything we're doing in this account. Pop open all these chests, pop open these cards here. Another 61, 62 million. That is going to gain us at least a little bit closer to the next levels. There's Entendre, and again, more food. Copy of Celia, and I think that's all we have for stones as well. 1 more out of here. Might give us enough, which it does. 1 more copy in there. So again, just a little bit more food as we continue through the progression. And again, I'm going to go through, I'm going to farm up quite a bit, but Liberta is going to be the focus of the engraving itself. So I'm going to have to see going through because I don't think I have many engraving mats at all. Even here, yeah, 1,300 shards. We have been buying these out of the store. Oh, I'm going to have to wait till we get a couple more of those. So we get a couple more diamonds, which we'll be able to get by the reset today. So then the guild store, again, we're buying those out religiously, even looking at summons, just kind of waiting. And here, again, we're building out right here our Robin Hood, and then we did buy some red chests, building out Alna in that facet. And then a couple more levels, a couple more sub levels. That takes us up to 289. So again, progression wise, I'm doing incredibly well in the account. This is the point where, yeah, I'm gonna have to focus on Liberta. Gonna have to use essentially what we have in here to go through, make a little bit more progression. I think I have to build out one of these first. If I remember the stars, yeah, this bottom one. And again, not having the resources, I didn't remember, because this will just kind of lead it to this one. Boom, that adds a lot more attack on this hero, guys. Right there's 9 of 100, which of course we're not taking to 100, but we will go to 60. So eventually we'll get there. But yeah, we're right there in the second glyph that we're unlocking. But stat wise, a lot more health, a lot more attack built out of there. Have that plus 30 signature item. Same with with Envy, have that plus 30 signature item. So again, thinking of the tier list or the list that we're going through itself with signature items, you know, we already built out, and the priority was getting Ivan up to a 30, which we did, getting Rem to a 20. Again, systematically looking, we finished that out. Then getting a 30 on Randy, which we did get a 30 on Randy. Then getting a 30 on Envy, Liberta, Marcio, which unfortunately we don't have. Then we look at the 20 going into heroes like Jerome, which again, we already have the 20 on there. And also looking at Laios, which unfortunately, again, another one we can't get. Gorin, another one we can't get. Then we have Aethys, we have Naruko. Building down this list, guys, we don't have Naruko yet. Then we have Misha, again, going to a 20. Lady Simona to a 20. Building them out one by one. Even looking at Mira, there's another one going to a 20. Then we have Silas, and we have Palmer. I believe Palmer is the next one on this list. And there we go. There is the 20 for Palmer. Again, we are just rocking down this tier list, because then we go 30 on Sarah Mira, or we go Rem, or we go into building out Shuna. Right now, guys, I'm going to do, and again, I'm thinking I'm going to do Shahan versus building up Rem a little bit further. I do love how Shahan works. You know what? I'm going to focus on her, because I know when this wish list came out, Shahan wasn't even a choice. And I know she does require a big build. Might be a mistake, but again, once Rem goes back, I'm not going to garrison Rem again. I'm going to run Shahan, and then even looking here, Sun Jinwoo is the next one that we're going to build up to a plus 20, just to take him a little bit further, increasing the survivability. I know the buffs and the debuffs, everything else that he possesses does work at a very base level, but absolutely getting him built up a little bit further is going to make a big difference when we're going through and making progression in the entirety. Again, it is just literally kind of going through and doing baby steps, making sure that we can build these out. But let's look at the beast real quick, because I know even there the essence is done. I believe all of the stones are done at this point. We did pick up our 1 free wish box, so if you haven't grabbed that yet, absolutely go in there and grab that. And we're also going to set this up to farm through again with that awakened version of Skriath. Hopefully it's going to make a really big difference in the Mauler Tower. And again, I've just been kind of cycling through all of the towers in the entirety, making a lot more progression on a regular basis, getting a lot more loot, and building out everything that we have to do within AFK Arena. Elder Tree, boom, a little bit more, almost to a 25 right here. All of these are going to 25, and then we'll kind of move out from there. Field of Stars, this is another point where we have just about everything unlocked that we can until we unlock more game modes within an AFK Arena. Really just waiting to see what happens and what comes and what's really going to be up with the Awakened Beast. The Beast Ground, we're at 1 and 2. Now again, we're building out the Slumbering Seal, just seeing if we can get a copy, which unfortunately it doesn't seem like even with hundreds of copies we've gotten anyone at this point. So unfortunately, nothing as far as the Beast in their entirety. But all right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.